I'm Raymond. You're watching RPadTV, and today we're going to review Spider-Noir, the latest collaboration between Sony and Amazon MGM. We have Mac in the house, and we have the triumphant return of Marcus Beer. Marcus, how are you doing today, man?
I'm good. It's been coming up on 4 months since my back surgery, which, turns out they had to replace my L4 and my L5. 4-hour surgery became 8 because the previous work had been embedded in my spine. But, learned to walk again for the third time in 18 months. But now I'm off the painkillers, I'm off the walker, and I'm off the cane. So I'm slightly just
RoboCop.
I actually have, between the stents in my heart, the little like tiny microscopic ball bearings they injected into my prostate for the cancer, and then this titanium cage in my back. I am probably like 6% metal.
You're closer to being a superhero than either Raymond and I.
I know this sounds like an origin story.
I had a metal rod in my pinky for like a couple years, holding everything together, and then I thought I was getting superpowers because I could feel like when the weather was going to change and weird stuff like that. And I had it taken out, and now all my powers are gone.
I would like some superpowers after the last few years. I feel I deserve, villainous superpowers.
Yeah, not good superpowers, like to be used for evil.
I could be the Welsh Silvermane, see?
Totally.
How about you, Mac? What's going on in the LBC?
Not a whole lot. My sister is back from living in Thailand.
That's right.
They're here visiting. And then my aunt is in town, and it's all because my sister's visiting, but also my oldest is graduating from high school. So
congratulations!
Like end of the year celebrations and dinners and things like that.
Congrats, Lexi.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's been on the show. You may.
yeah. She's been
artist formerly known as Alexis Taylor Marshall.
Yes. So Spider-Noir is an interesting character. He first popped up in the comics in 2009. He became more popular in 2018 in the Into the Spider-Verse movies. And now he has his very own series. And just to be clear, this is a whole new iteration of this spider character. So it has a lot in common with the comics and the Into the Spider-Verse version, but it's its very own original thing. It's a Sony production, but it was also distributed and co-produced by Amazon MGM. So if you're a fan of Sony Spider movies, and if you are, I don't know what's wrong with you. There's something to look forward to here. I believe, Mac, you and I reviewed Craven and Madam Web, if I'm not mistaken.
I've reviewed or shit on, but yeah.
So I was excited to have a spider-related Sony project that wasn't crap. And with that in mind, let us give a quick teaser of what we'll be talking about today with our Blue Sky reviews. Mac, why don't you kick us up first?
It said, today I get to talk about the new Spider-Man Noir TV series on Amazon Prime with Ray and Crew at RPadTV. I love the show because Nick Cage and because it's not the usual retelling of Spider-Man that everyone's come to expect.
Yes.
We'll talk about it later today. And I think to me, oh, sorry, go ahead. Finish. I was going to say, like, just to me, somebody not as familiar with the comic book background of all of it. Like, my first introduction to Noir was, as you said, in the
Spider-Verse,
the Spider-Verse movie. So it was really like out of left field and a very pleasant surprise.
Excellent. Marcus, your teaser, please.
Yes, well, you asked for a quick one, and so, I'll give you the best quickie I could. And it's basically Cage does what he does best, aided by some quality characters and a great script.
Yes.
Fully agreed. And I wrote, after years of garbage Spider spin-offs, Sony and Amazon MGM have spun a winner with Spider-Noir. Its unique setting and strong performances are so good that it'll erase Morbius from your memory. Now, I can only hope that's true.
I haven't
We
thought
got,
about that film in so long. Thank you.
we got to start with Nick Cage. I mean, what can you say about the job he did in this role? There's a lot. Marcus,
There's
kick
a
us
lot,
off here.
and I'll start off with a negative thing.
Mac, kick us off with the negative.
Sorry. I wish they got this 10 years ago with him. Like,
Ooh.
not for any. I just feel like Nick Cage 10 years ago would have been the only improvement, because like in the little bits where you could see he kind of just, whether it went off script or did something else, like he just kind of went like on a riff, like you saw those moments and they shine through, as Marcus said, is Nick Cage doing what Nick Cage does best, and he just spun some very entertaining moments throughout the whole series.
That is fair. I mean, what was it about 10 years ago that you would have liked better than what we have now?
I think, like, it seemed to me like he was struggling with almost like some facial paralysis through like delivering some of his lines. And I don't know if it's like a byproduct of him trying to fake that accent or not, but it just seemed like maybe a couple plastic surgeries ago, this would have been better.
I think it's all of the above. I think those are both fair. I mean, I will assume most people in Hollywood have gotten a Botox or 12. And how old is he now? He's pretty up there, right? He's in his
60s.
Yeah. So, yeah, I get it. Marcus, let's move on a positive note away from plastic surgery. What did you like about or dislike about his performance?
I liked pretty much everything. And again, I'll actually go back and agree with Mac in some ways that a Nicolas Cage from 10, 15, 20 years ago might have had a better physicality. For sure. What this character, how they've written this character suits where he is now. I thought he was brilliant. There's bits of Leaving Las Vegas in there. There's bits of that vampire movie where there's bits of the one he's done 2 vampire movies, one in the 80s where he thinks he's a vampire, and then he did Ring
the one with Beast. Yes.
And it's just these, even you see in some of his Ghost Rider performances, it's this and it's pure Cage, and it's great, and he can only get away with it because he has this amazing talent and this such amazingly recognizable voice. I mean, the benefit to us is that if they do switch Spider-Noir to an animated series, he can voice over that without any of the issues with physicality. But I mean, it's just I think a lot of younger people wouldn't get some of the references where he was mimicking, some of the actors of the time. Like, I'm going to fix your toilet, see?
There's a lot of Cagney. There's a lot of Bogart in there.
Yeah. But I mean, we're so used to that because even though we're not of that age, we had Robin Williams, using those voices, and we'd have them on Sunday afternoon reruns or whatever when we only had 3 or 4 channels before cable and Netflix. So we do have a familiarity there. So for people of our age, I think, it ticks all the boxes. I think for younger people, they get to see Nick Cage in a way they probably haven't before, outside of his movies like Pig and Mandy. So a triumphant return for Nicolas Cage.
I really enjoyed his performance, but after 5 episodes, I'm like, wait, he hasn't gone full Cage yet. What's going on?
Yeah.
But then when he went to Dr. Faber's lab and then he started doing all the like spider motions and stuff, I'm like,
that was the guy.
There
I also love the sequence where he was confessing to his receptionist that he was the spider.
All 5 times.
All of those,
fantastic.
That was very well done. So here's a fun thing for you guys too. Lexi, who's like kind of seen me watching this, in the background, and because she's an performer and all that stuff, she's kind of been now intrigued to go back and watch it because of that 30s mobster like kind of style of talking and just a character performance. She's looking at it more as like these guys are all really good at like pulling off essentially like a an era specific kind of accent and performance. So she's looking at it through that lens, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what she thinks of that genre in particular. Like, is that something young people even?
She was having a hard time, just like, so what do you mean it's in black and white? It's in black and white, and then I'm like, and then you can also watch it in color. And she's like, how does that work? And I was like, technology. Like, I don't know.
I do want to save that a bit for later, specifically more on the black and white discussion. There's some interesting stuff there. But Mac, what were some of the things you enjoyed about Nick's performance here?
I think we're all kind of hovering around the same bit. It's just, when you saw Nick Cage have those sparks of old school Nick Cage that popped through, and he didn't do it a lot. It was very sporadic throughout the series, but the few times he did it, you were like you tick that box, you were fulfilled. You got you're like, okay, this is classic Cage.
It made me feel more comfortable because I kept wondering, like, when is he coming out? And then
anytime he had to like laugh hysterically or do anything just kind of fun, like he just puts that extra layer of oomph into it, which just makes it unbelievably believable.
Yeah, I think for me, the first scene when he was pretending to be crazy in Dr. Faber's office, saying he was on the wrong floor, I'm like, that's my guy. I was waiting for that. And I honestly would have been sad if he didn't unleash himself like that. But he did several more times after that. We had to wait for it. And I thought that made it more worth it.
It totally did. It was neat to see him in a return to form, and he delivered when and where he needed to deliver.
Yeah, I mean, perfect guy for the role. I know a lot of people aren't big on him for various reasons. He's one of those love him or hate him.
Haven't seen Raising Arizona.
I mean, Raising Arizona is great. Face Off, we were talking about.
Face Off, fantastic movie.
But also he does some like
really got married.
Really weird artsy stuff. So he's one of those actors that got to play himself in a movie. So
that's a good movie.
That is a really good movie. But yeah, I'm kind of glad he's having this run and this series. I think it's great for him, exposing him to a whole new audience. Going back to that 1930s vibe, and almost kind of what we were talking about with Lexi, I was wondering, like, as Marcus was saying, we're kind of familiar with these. I'm familiar with these because when I was a kid, before my parents started to get more financially successful, we had a black and white TV as my first TV. We didn't have cable television, so we rented movies from the library, and my dad would bring home some Bogart, a lot of Cagney, a lot of Jimmy Stewart, those kinds of movies.
No Johnny Dangerously.
I love that movie, you farting ice hole.
Well done.
But yeah, so I was more familiar with it than someone of my age usually is. So I'm wondering, even for people younger than us, does this resonate with him? Like, maybe they saw him in the Spider-Verse movie and they thought that was cool, but I don't know. Marcus, what do you think of the setting, which I thought was awesome and unique, but does it work for a mass audience today?
I think it works for a mass audience of older nerds for everything we've discussed. I mean, watching shows in the 80s and 90s, your favorite shows, especially the ones shot in America, would, when they get to like season 4 or 5, would do a 1930s episode alternate reality because they didn't have any original ideas left. Well, yeah, I mean, Star Trek, Angel, I mean, all these different shows did it. I think if anybody is uncomfortable, is like, I'm not sure I will get this, make them watch Johnny Dangerously, make them watch Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid.
Oh, that's a
those are the movies for me that could say.
I'm gonna go watch that tonight now. This is the Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid.
Johnny Dangerously, like I always thought Michael Keaton was an incredible actor.
Ever since like Mr. Mom.
I love Mr. Mom. I even loved Gung Ho.
Gung Ho is great. Oh man, such a good movie.
They still can't remake that nowadays.
No, not at all.
No.
Jesus.
Yeah. But I mean, he's one of those guys that could do drama and comedy equally well. And I also think one of the reasons I like him is that he used to do stand-up. A lot of
He's
people
great in
know
the
that.
other guys as the lieutenant.
Oh, guys, don't go chasing waterfalls.
The lieutenant who also works at Bed Bath & Beyond in his spare time.
And sometimes I creep.
Yeah, back to the question. I know. I think it is going to be an interesting litmus test of where what tastes are people could be interested in. It's interesting to me that Spider-Noir has been the #1 show on Amazon since release.
Yeah,
and the fact that they've got the color hue version, maybe that softens the blow.
Yeah,
I know how I watched it, and you guys know how you watched it, but
and a lot of people are going to watch both of them, so they're going to get double the viewership.
Yeah, I mean, it could be so old that people are like, "Wow, what is this? I've never seen anything like this before." There's a lot of
like
kids,
new younger generation, sure.
Yeah, like they've never seen a black and white detective movie, or at least one that was originally like that, or maybe they haven't seen black and white movies at all. So this could be a novelty.
TikTok about how they they've discovered black and white movies like nobody. And then also, did you know that in the 80s there was a guy called Phil Collins who was a singer, drummer, and he looked like the IT guy. And it's like they've discovered this for the whole very first time that nobody before.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't he in the what was the Christmas song? Do they know it's Christmas? Wasn't he wearing like an Argyle sweater vest in the video?
Yeah, well, that's our boy Phil. I mean, optimum comfort. You can't go wrong with that.
I still think
it's very clanky when there's ice in it.
Still think it's very funny that him and the Gallaghers. Look at that excellent tumbler. I tumble for you, like Boy George. So, Mac, what did you think of the 1930s setting?
I loved it. It's just, I have such a weird history of I worked on the early Spider-Man video games way back when, so I've been on the Spider-Man train since then.
The Spider Train.
Yeah, and I loved it because it was such a departure from everything that everybody's seen time and time again, the same retelling of the same story with different characters and a different actor, but this was just and different in a way that was different beyond what Venom gave us as a different experience out of the Spider-Man universe, right? I felt like this was just such a cool departure, and it was darker both in just tone and everything. And I think also we'll get into this is because the supporting cast was so good. So good. And honestly, every single one of them.
Yeah. It's interesting when you say darker, and I totally agree, but when some people hear the word dark, they think of, gritty and violent, but in this case, it's more somber and depressing, and especially the black and white. Yeah. Like the black and white was especially got the
it works well with the Depression era,
Yeah, absolutely.
So now, I just loved that, you hear Spider-Man, you get excited. It's you kind of go into it with an expectation, and when that expectation isn't met, but it's exceeded on a completely different path, you're like, oh man, what a cool way to deliver that story.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine someone not necessarily being familiar with Spider-Noir being like, oh, young kid, his Uncle Ben dies again. I've seen this 5
Right, how many times are we going to do this?
Yeah, but then they're like, whoa, this is really different. And honestly, the cinematography made me miss New York a lot, just seeing the architecture and those old buildings. Yeah. You can still see some of it today, but it's been covered up by so much other garbage. But
graffiti.
Yeah, well, mostly pigeon poop.
Urine.
Yeah. But it did make me miss New York. I love that setting, even though socially I'm more like today's New York. Mac, you spoke about the supporting cast. Let's talk about them. I mean, Ben Reilly, not Peter Parker, although I like how they snuck around that. He said he changed his name in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Had a lot of great characters to support him. Who are some of your favorites? Who stood out to you, Mac?
My favorite, and you knew right away, was the secretary. And the moment that they the bad guy, what's his name, came to visit Ben Reilly at the office, and they panned out wider because he was talking about I'm gonna kill you, and they panned out wider, and the secretary's already standing behind the dude with a gun pointed at the back of his head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I absolutely loved her from that moment. I was like, this is like I wish we could work together.
Janet, she is just such a cool character.
Just all her like her startled reactions where she like swears in Spanish, like it's so well done. And then like, man, like certainly like there's lots of villains throughout the series, but man, the guy who plays, what did he say his name? When he didn't say Magneto, he said
Megawatt.
I thought he
that
became
dude deserves.
He did not. The newspaper wanted to call him that, but he called himself Megawatt.
Yeah. My apologies, I said corrected.
He called himself that at the end.
But he's Electro, though. I mean,
it's the alt version of Electro. He basically, that guy deserves an Emmy, like for talk about playing like an amazing villain role and really like selling it.
Yeah.
And not to downplay that, Sandman, like he was great too, but man, the guy who played Electro or whatever we're calling him now, he just delivered, man. Like every scene he was in, you were creeped out about what he may or may not do.
So getting back to Janet, I agree that she was my favorite of the supporting characters in Ben's life. I was really impressed by how multifaceted they made an original character in a new series. I mean, they showed that she was supportive and loving towards Ben. I like that she was tutoring that street urchin kid.
That street kid was also a great addition and played such a good bit.
I loved how she sweet talked the cop, and that paid off at the end when the cop called her to give her a heads up. So I like how multifaceted they made her. And I think she was a great character. She's smart. She kicks ass. She's caring. And if need be, she'll drop a gun when the need arises. How about you, Marcus? Who is some of the favorite supporting good guys to you?
Well, I mean, I don't want to totally be unoriginal and just echo you guys, but you're right. Janet, absolute standout. I mean, she's the quintessential 1930s woman who holds everything together when the man is just totally freaking clueless, and she needs paying to get food on the table for her husband, blah blah blah. But she's got everything dialed down, super efficient. Doesn't take any bullshit because you couldn't in those days. I mean, it was just one would imagine it would be a ridiculous time. Duracell, Electro, whatever the hell we want to call him.
Well, more on the bad guys later. Let's how about Robbie? Were you guys impressed by that?
Great. He's been, especially like I loved when he had to play the bit of the spider.
That was fantastic.
That was really funny. He did a great job. And like what was really interesting about him to me is how easily, and maybe this is a Nick Cage thing too, but like they made the relationships between Nick Cage's character Ben and like him, and then Ben and the receptionist, they made them all so believably like touching and real.
For sure. And they were equals, which is very different from many superhero shows where they're more like sidekicks, but these guys, they all need each other.
Yep.
And I like how they made some. Robbie Robertson is also a reporter in the Bugle in the comics, and I like that they put a twist on this character. And he was also extremely important in the adventure, especially with Tombstone, getting him all sorted out. But he was very slick, which is something that the other characters maybe didn't have. So I really enjoyed him. Lamorne Morris is, I was told to watch him in New Girl, I think the show is, but I don't know if I could bring myself to watch New Girl.
I saw an interview with him and he just said that like this role for him was like so made for him that it was just so natural for him to like deliver that character. Like he felt so comfortable doing it.
He was very smooth and natural is a good word for it. He reminded me of a young Will Smith in what was that drama he was in where he played that fraudster, like a young Will Smith.
Oh,
I have to look it up now. Sorry.
Men in Black.
Oh,
It wasn't 6 Degrees of Separation.
6 Degrees of Separation. So that was the kind of effortless
close.
charm. It reminded me of how charming he was in that movie, but also a similar age. We have a lot more to talk to, more about the bad guys, the black and white, and everything. But before that, I wanted to remind you, you guys got to follow these guys on Blue Sky. Here is Mac's account. There is also a direct link in the Facebook and YouTube descriptions. And I want you to tell him in copious detail what your favorite color is and why. Use multiple posts if you have to. Also follow Marcus. He is there on Blue Sky as well. Also a direct link in the Facebook and YouTube description.
Why egg creams rule.
Explain to him why egg creams rule. This is like a quintessential, like 30, actually from the 30s on. One of my favorite drinks as a kid, because I went to a lot of, they still had soda shops in Brooklyn. So
okay,
this young Jewish couple used to babysit me and take me to the soda shop and order me egg creams. And
I've never even heard of this.
It's fantastic. Little bit of milk, chocolate syrup, and then seltzer the rest of the way. So it's
Weird.
It's like a chocolate cream soda kind of deal.
In Britain, we have ice cream sodas that is basically, instead of the milk, we have ice cream at the bottom. And then
a little bit different.
And salsa.
I think the ice cream is actually technically better because there's more fat. So I think that's why I would like it.
But yeah, please, I mean, if you want to just message us, absolutely do. Just make sure you CC Ray in.
So Ray
has to go through every
and use his personal email address, which is
Hey Marcus, let's take a look at that Tumblr again. That was pretty awesome. Like, Tumblr you were drinking out of. That is excellent RPadTV Tumblr that you can find on Amazon.com. Also pick up an excellent t-shirt here. You have I Have Friends Everywhere, the Certified Guapo t-shirt, and like the Tumblr, you can get these names on a t-shirt. Famous Filipino Americans like Joe Coy, Olivia Rodrigo, and Haley Steinfeld. It would help this site out greatly because, technically we lose money on this show.
Every episode.
It would be nice not to.
We are working backwards.
Not looking to get rich, but I'd like not to lose money on it. That would be a nice first step. We talked a bit about the bad guys. I mean, the show they had some guys that were evil. They had some guys that were being used, and Megawatt was just a dick, but I kind of enjoyed watching him.
Megawatt was like truly an evil bad guy that like the likes of which we haven't seen in a while to me. Like he was just like, you were never gonna change. He was like, you couldn't save him,
He was a shitty failed actor with an ego the size of Wisconsin. And now that he has these powers, every time the powers improve, his ego just gets bigger and he becomes more of an asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, he is truly psychotic towards the end. We have all met people like this, minus the superpowers, but you could swap out superpowers and replace them with climbing the corporate ladder. Yeah. Less talent they have, the higher they go.
He almost reminded me of Francis from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
A little bit, but like evil Francis.
Evil Francis.
Not that Francis was good natured, but
but then you've got the counterpoint to him in Tombstone.
Yeah,
because Tombstone is the Lonnie's the one decent guy.
Yeah,
and Sandman is more shades of gray, sort of like falls between the two. He does what he has to do to make money, get protected, but but he comes.
So what
to
is Lonnie supposed to turn into his Tombstone?
He's supposed to be.
He looks like Lobstercules, like.
Yeah, he to me he had like a Klingon head, but in the comics he's stone. Ergo Tombstone, and
I thought he looked more like a lobster man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gray. He looks like granite.
It's
he's I think you see him in the other Spider-Man cartoon series.
Yeah,
The,
he's in that too, and he'll be in Brand New Day as well. So, but
Hmm.
it's interesting. He's one of the characters that looked noticeably different when he's all powered up. He looks very different in color. He looks more crustacean than here. That I thought that was interesting. But
I
yeah,
thought all the characters all the bad guy characters had depth.
yes,
Yeah,
They
they all
really
had
did.
great motivation.
Yeah, and it's some, yes, it's like Megawatt. It's easy to hate because you can see, we've met people like that, but then you see the other end of the spectrum in Lonnie and Sandman to a certain degree, and we've met people like that. Hell, we may have even been people like that, and it's good to see that those characters got the redemption arc I felt they deserved, and Megawatt got the
he had a nice death. That was cool.
yeah.
He caught the subway.
Yeah.
Got the L.
And we got to talk about Brendan Gleeson as Silvermane. I'm such a massive fan of this guy. I mean,
I was gonna ask who could have done it better.
yeah, I mean, it's funny because I loved him in Bruges, so I was thinking like maybe Colin Farrell in 20 years, his co-star in that movie.
Totally.
So, yeah, I mean, a lot of people know him from the Harry Potter movies, but this guy is such a tremendous actor. I mean, tremendous in Gangs of New York. I thought it was incredible in that, and I love him as a Irish mob boss. He was menacing, threatening. With Cat, he was very controlling, and yeah, I was thrilled to see an actor of this caliber in this series.
Mm-hmm.
Mac, what are some of your takes on these bad guys, this rogues gallery?
I loved that they were different versions of some of the bad guys that I was familiar with from the normal, that was clearly Electro.
Yeah.
Clearly the Sandman. I couldn't tell who the other guy was, but it was just nice to see these different versions of things that I was lightly familiar with. And then, kind of what we didn't get in the Punisher movie thing that just happened. I didn't get a real feeling of Nucci, right? Is that the right name?
Yeah, you're right.
It's a really serious big bad.
Yeah, they didn't spend any time defining her at all.
Right.
So
yeah, we talked about that.
2 minutes.
And I feel like in this with the Spider, they gave Silvermane a bad reputation, and then they let the actor just delivered that character, and they gave him enough depth and context to make you take him seriously as a big bad. So I thought that was cool. We had a believable bad guy that would justifiably just shoot you rather than deal with you, so.
I mean, there's just enough charm. He's evil, but he does it in such a delightful way that it's fun to watch. But then he's just vicious, like in the first episode when he just slices that guy's throat. Yeah. That kind of surprised me. I wasn't expecting
That's what I said. It was dark and gory, and I was like, this is a kind of good Spider-Man that I like. It's fun to watch.
We have not talked about a Cat who is neither good nor, I guess she's kind of everything in this series. Marcus, what did you make of her?
I'm not going to criticize the actress, but I'm going to say, with regards to, from my perspective, she seemed like the weakest written character, because she fell into this standard, woman who will, she uses, she'll seduce somebody or whatever to get what she wants and everything. And that's not a criticism, but it's just to be a singer in a nightclub in that era of Asian descent. I just felt they could have done a little bit more. She felt,
well, I think she felt
underutilized and
I feel like they tried, because there was a scene where she talked about like she used to sing in this dumpy theater for, you know, pennies or something like that, and that's when Silvermane found. Like they made a very light attempt at trying to like give her some context, and it wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean,
she needed more development. I mean, especially as you look at all the other characters and especially the other female character and how well developed that character was. I just think it would, you know, it would have been nice to see a little bit more from her, as opposed from just, you know, just to see her flip flop as, you know.
And to be fair, in reality, in the 30s, you're not having an Asian woman in a nightclub or a Latino woman in as your
office.
Well,
secretary.
no, you're not gonna have a black man writing for a newspaper.
Yeah,
there's a lot of.
So
I mean there's a lot of. I mean, and I don't have a problem with the ethnicity or the
right.
the
but if you're going to criticize,
a fine actress, I've not seen her before. I would just love to have seen. I felt she was the weakest of the characters, not down to her, but to the writing.
Specifically saying that because she's an Asian woman in a nightclub doesn't make sense, because that's what they're trying to modernize the series to make it more diverse. So
look, I don't have, you know, I don't, please don't read it that way. You know, I don't have a problem with that. I would just love to have seen her have a little more character development, because I felt the actress needed it and deserved it.
Right.
I mean, she's integral to the story. I mean, she is, you know, she's the one who, the Madam Web, if you want. She's sitting right at the middle of the web, and she's connecting all these people together, and everything is going through her. And I just felt I would love to have seen some more of her.
I felt like they gave us all of her context at the end of the series.
Yeah, because I mean, what they're trying to do with her is that, you know, she's not just a paper doll that they dress up. She's not just the love interest. She is that femme fatale. The actor said that one of her inspirations were young Kim Basinger characters.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I can see what she was trying to do with that.
Basinger.
Yeah.
Family Guy.
But yeah, I don't know if that she was underdeveloped. I thought
I just think they gave all of her story late in the game.
It was backloaded. I agree with that.
And then
I didn't feel as invested in her as I did in the others. I wanted to see, you know, see this character be more than, you know, my guy's in trouble. I need to help him out, and I'm being the mole and all this. I'm sorry, I just wanted more. And like I said, the actress was good with what she had.
Like, my knee-jerk reaction was, I think they like, I always thought that like Nick Cage had like a kink for Asian women. Like,
he does. He's married to a Japanese.
My first thought was like, they just cast her because he just wanted to be like act the side of like an up and coming hot Asian woman. So
could be.
By the way, like, I thought she did fantastic. I agree. Like, her character development was light up until the end when they tried to like kind of put the wrapper around everything, you know?
Yeah, that could have been tighter, maybe, that she was masterminding
earlier, tighter, whatever.
Yeah.
But still, I think like given the cards that she had been dealt, I think she did a great job.
I thought she did a really good job with it, everything she dealt with. And at the end of the day, who's the one who pulls the trigger? It's her.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
You know, I mean, and that to me felt like, if only I had learned to, you know, if only she'd been perhaps a little bit more, like I said, there was a little bit more of her. I mean, perhaps they just wanted to do a bait and switch, that, you know, she was doing this all for her man, and she wouldn't have the cojones to do anything.
No, that's what they were trying to do. I don't know if that worked for you or not. I mean,
I don't think it. I think I must have missed. I must have missed out on that bit. You know, to be fair, I am old and.
She did have that killer line where she tells Silvermane, "My only regret is that I only get to kill you once."
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
And then he took the water out of it. He's like, "I'm glad it was you," you know, at the end.
Yeah.
So
yeah. One of the interesting things about this series is that it's available in black and white and true U color, which they're calling it. And I think a lot of young people might not be familiar with this technique. What they were trying to mimic is the way that black and white films were translated into color everything seems really oversaturated because it wasn't naturally filmed in colors, and the technology they were using back then made everything look
autocorrect.
Yeah,
none of the things that we have now.
It's Wizard of Oz syndrome.
Kind of, yeah. But some things, and there are merits to watching both. Maybe younger people will like watching the color version because it's more familiar and not as weird.
Yeah.
Personally, I think there are merits to both. But what I would have loved was almost like what they did in Sin City, where it's primarily black and white, and they added splashes of color every now and then. There are scenes that I think just look flat out better in the color version, like in the first episode when you first see Addison flame on or whatever. That looks fantastic in color. The nightclub scene, I thought that looks really cool in color. Some of the things like Tombstone when he's powered up, it looked more pronounced in the color version, where he looked more lobsterish, like you guys were saying. Mac, you've watched a bit of both. You watched everything in black and white and a bit of the color version. What was your take on? Was it worth offering these two different experiences?
Oh yeah, for sure. And like it's strange. The black and white version is so foreign to me because like I didn't watch a lot of black and white stuff ever, and if ever given the chance, I'd always go for like find the color version or whatever like so. But because I know that this was made to be in black and white, like I was like, all right, let's watch it the way it's meant to be viewed, right? So, and it does not disappoint. Like it's just like it's such an interesting, unique experience for, like I said, like a Spider-Man story to be told in this way in this era in black, like served up in black and white. And then you go back and you watch the color version and you're like, wow, like it feels like you're watching a different thing, like a different show, even though you just watched it in black and white. It's just a different experience altogether for some reason.
And did you choose right away to watch it in black and white, or did you have to think about it first?
I had to think about it. I was like, oh, do I want to do black and white? And then I started with color, to be honest, and then I stopped, and then I went to black and white and kept going to black and white for the rest of it.
And it totally worked for you that way.
Yeah, no, it's great. I loved it. And I wonder too if like black and white does anything almost to like further level set the playing field of like a multicultural cast of characters, right?
Yeah.
There's like seeing it in black and white take like it. I don't know. Like to me, it could almost like I could see it taking everybody who's happens to like have issues with like, oh, like there's a Asian leading lady, or something like that, like to put everybody on like the same playing field a little bit further where you just don't even see color. Like I just thought that was such an interesting effect that I noticed like as we were going on. I'm curious if you guys picked up on that at all too.
No, I mean, there were definitely actors at that time where they tried to cover up any ethnicity they had, particularly actors that were mixed Latino, where they totally tried to play up and push them as just being white, and black and white helped that for sure.
Yeah, and you watch it in black and white, your brain automatically imagines what color outfit that they're wearing, and then you see it in color, and you're like, that's not what I was expecting, but it looks good. And so there's lots of that, like just that kind of stuff where you're like, oh, okay, like there's a whole sequence where like I guess after they stole his liver, he starts turning yellow.
Yeah.
You don't
see that in black and white.
Anything. Like, you're just like, I'm taking your word for it.
It's hard to do jaundice in black and white.
So it was funny. Like I like that.
Mac, I like how you talked about almost making it colorblind casting.
It's a strange thing to me. Like,
and I mean, look, I'm not afraid, but very embarrassed to admit that when I was younger, I mean, like many idiots of my age, way back when, I didn't like colorblind casting. I would watch my history class and we'd know X, Y, and Z was happening, and then we see a TV show and they'd done the colorblind casting. I thought, oh, that's not right. Why did they mess with it? And then I grew up. And the whole, I stopped seeing color. I mean, that's a ridiculous thing to say, but I do I do love the color blind casting in this, like I do in shows like Doctor Who or whatever. Even the awful Josh Trank Fantastic Four, where we had a black Johnny Storm, and he was, Michael B. Jordan is one of the finest actors of his generation, and he nailed the job in a
Hard
shitty,
disagree.
in a shitty script. But no, I think he did what he could with it. But my point is that I watched it in black and white. I watched the first episode in color because I watched it in bed on my crappy Amazon Fire TV that came for free when I rented the apartment. But it's not even like 1080p.
Ew.
And then the Amazon app didn't actually give me the option to switch. So
Okay.
I've changed that up. I've got Apple TV installed now. But then, so I watched the first one in color, and then I watched the rest in black and white. And at some point, I'll go through and watch them all again in color. But I love the black and white.
Yeah.
I mean, as somebody who, like Ray, grew up with a small, and I'm talking about small 18-inch black and white TV. That's how I saw all sorts of shows until I was about 5. Because then my mom, we were, just a single parent family, but we got TV and people were so impressed, and it was a rented TV. And so, people would come around and watch it and everything. But that was the first time I saw things in color, and I was like 5
It's funny.
on TV. But I mean, it fits the genre, it fits the characters. It fits how well the characters are written. Yes, it's slightly sensationalized, obviously, with the superpowers and everything. But I mean, as somebody who, loves the book The Black Dahlia and, movies like The Godfather and stuff, which are obviously in color, but are of those eras, which cause I find them fascinating as a Brit because we didn't know anything like that. I mean, we had the craze in the UK, but that was about it. I mean, we were too busy getting bombed. So they're 3 ways, 3 ways from Sunday.
It's funny that people our age or older remember the first time they saw color TV, the first time they experienced color TV, the same way that like any of us remember 9/11 or like where you were when you first saw color TV. Like it's like my parents would tell me about that stuff, like from there, like, we were at the store and we saw it through the window, and you're like, oh crap.
Okay, it was a huge thing. We got it delivered, and they carried it in, and they put it on. Ray's like, I want to carry on, but now the old people are reminiscing. And you
I'm calling for a tangent because you brought up 9/11. But
sorry.
No. When I was working at G4,
oh god,
we sat next to the E Entertainment people, and that section of the office went apeshit when Michael Jackson died. But then I heard this one young girl call her parents. I don't know if it was her mom or dad. And I distinctly heard her say, like, hey, was this what it was like for you when JFK died? And then I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm like,
oh my
god. Yeah. That is my G4.
I can remember where I was when John Lennon died. It was about a week after my birthday, and I was probably about 6, 7, and I was at my auntie's house having pancakes.
I thought this was going in a dark place, and you ended on pancakes. So
all right? Do you want the real dark place?
No.
I remember where I was for 9/11. I was in Midtown Manhattan. I'd flown in on a Tom Clancy press tour the day before.
Oh no!
Yeah, that was. You want to talk about surreal? Try sitting in Central Park where there's the only things going overhead are F-18s.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think we all agree that black and white is generally the better experience, but there are some scenes where I really do wish they did a Sin City thing where they had occasional use of some color, not the whole frame, but just select parts of it.
It's funny too, because like you think of Spider-Man and it's like I'm thinking of the Supergirl trailer right now where like, Clark shows her the new Supergirl suit and he's like, it's colorful, but that's to show you the when you think Spider-Man, you think you're gonna see the blue and red suit. You think you don't get any of this. Even in the color version, like it's just such a fun way to watch the character.
I
Yeah.
mean, all it is the mask. I mean, and it's
Yeah.
it's the black Spider-Man mask. But I do love the goggles, by the way.
Yeah.
When he presses the button and the goggles light up.
And they were. They make
Yeah,
that.
that is.
And the rest is all just like any attire you could buy at the local,
Yeah, he has the trench coat.
Goodwill, you know.
Mhm.
But I mean, he went to Detectives R Us. He got the trench coat and the fedora, and
Well, it looks like his old army uniform with regards to the sweater, the pants, and the boots.
yeah. Oh, we didn't talk about that. I love the way they portrayed his spider sense, where it was almost like he was getting PTSD. It wasn't like a helpful. It was a useful thing, but it was more debilitating than we've seen in other Spider-Man.
I love
the
half
back of the neck.
man, half spider creature that was clearly borrowed from Big Trouble in Little China, the underground sewers, that bit Nick Cage on the hand.
Yeah,
That one shook me. That did shake me. I mean,
It was gross.
that's
you
actually
look at all the other characters, and then you see this one, and he just rolls over, and it's like the Dark Knight Returns, where we see Two-Face.
Harvey Two-Face.
Yeah. But I mean,
so that's
this
an
was
interesting one in color.
grotesque.
In color, it's more in black and white. I think it's more powerful, the scene itself, but the monster I think is creepier in color.
I'm sure it is. But again, that took me back to the monster movies, of the B-movie monster movies of that era. I mean, where, I'm not talking about the Universal ones or whatever, but where you look at the ants from outer space, and I can't list them all, but the Day the Earth Stood Still or whatever, and
But I was
Invasion of the
getting-
Body Snatchers. In black and white, it's more powerful.
I was getting Twilight Zone vibes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, that works too.
I enjoyed that part. So when it got a little weird and freaky, and then when Nick Cage started doing the
Oh yeah, well, his like bat dance equivalent spider movie.
the spider dance, that should become a thing now in the clubs. Mac, you're in charge of that. have Lexi start doing.
I need to go get my leather pants.
Yes.
You could actually see that becoming a dance craze in the 30s, like the Charleston.
The Spitusi.
Maybe. Forgot about the Batusi. So let's close things out on this before we get into what we'd like to see next. But Mac, if you were talking to a friend who asked you, should I watch Spider-Noir, what would you say?
Bitch, please.
Okay.
Yes, no, you have to watch it. It's must. At this point, I feel like it's must watch superhero content.
Oh wow, I didn't know you liked it that much. I knew
I
you
do.
enjoyed
It's
Cool.
I'm again. I'm already watching it a second time. It's a fun show. It's so different for me that makes it that much more enjoyable, because again, like, I'm not pre-wired to be anticipating what scene am I going to see in this show that I've seen in 17 other movies, so yeah, it's just fun. It's a fun ride. It's entertaining. You're not going to see arguably better acting anywhere else at the moment. It's just aside of like The Boys and Anthony, what's his name?
Anthony Starr. Yeah.
Starr, but like everybody's delivering Anthony Starr level like performances in this.
Yeah, I guess that the consistency, from top to bottom of the acting was really impressive.
Yeah, and
Marcus,
that's unexpected. It's like an unexpected gem.
How about you? What would you say to a friend asking if they should watch this or not?
I think the first thing I'd do is, why haven't you watched it yet? But yes, wholeheartedly, this would not look out of place on Disney Plus. In fact, I think it puts, dare I say, 50 to 60% of the Marvel TV shows to shame.
Yeah,
especially some of the tripe we've had over the past, few years. The only exception being, the exceptions: WandaVision, Daredevil, etc. She-Hulk in certain places. So yeah, I can't pay it a higher compliment than that. I think that the directing duo who kind of like helmed it was Phil Lord and
Miller. They were
Lord and Miller, who obviously did Into the Spider-Verse.
They're EPs. They weren't the show.
They were exec producers,
Yeah.
but they did into the Spider-Verse. There was the first
Yes.
movie, and then there were EPs on the second. And I think I don't know what they're doing on the third, if we'll ever see that.
And not to mention 21 and 22 Jump Street, the minds behind those movies.
Like the newer one?
But I mean, they're talented. They are talented guys. And,
Yeah.
you know, I would love to have seen their Star Wars movie. I would, you know, I think those guys are great. They understand the concept. They look at things with a different perspective. You know, Into the Spider-Verse, two favorite characters for me. One was Spider-Noir. And, you know, when we had the most anticipated TV shows of the year, this was right up there for me. And then the other one was Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider-Pig.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always loved that character. I read him from, you know, in one of the old spin-off mags in the 80s.
Spider-Ham.
Yeah, Spider-Ham. Sorry, it's not Spider-Pig. Spider-Pig's The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Spider-Pig, Spider-Pig.
That's interesting. I would say it's definitely the most unique Sony Spider-Man movie. Anything. If you thought Craven and Madam Web were crap, or Morbius, don't forget that. This will wipe those out of your memory because it's just really good, but it's also really particular. So I won't guarantee. I can't guarantee that you'll like it, but I definitely think it's worth giving a shot because I really do think it's that good.
It doesn't look like it was designed by a committee.
Well, yeah.
Where those other movies do.
My wife, who's not a fan of comics, not that she dislikes any of the superhero movies and all that stuff. Like, she loves the Deadpool movies, things like, but like, she's not a comics person. She's not like, so to have her watch just the first 2 episodes and be like, oh yeah, like this is really good, I'm hooked. Like, it's got that layer to it that you don't have to be a fan of comics or Spider-Man to enjoy it for what it is, because the cast, the writing, the story, it all delivers.
Like, I wouldn't even say it's a superhero show. It's a like a detective show that happens to have superpowers. Yeah.
You know, crime mystery.
So that's a great thing. Now, we've seen a bunch of Spider variants, especially into the Spider-Verse. Are there any Spider variants that you would like to see in the future? Because the way Sony has been speaking, they want to do more series with Amazon MGM. So that could open up all sorts of possibilities. Marcus, would you like to see a Spider-Ham
I would. Spider-Ham animated series voiced by John Mulaney, because that guy's voice is so perfect, the Spider. And his line delivery, much like Nicolas Cage owns Spider-Noir. Those two were absolute pitch perfect casting. And I would love to see, you know, that sort of, you know, I don't need a movie. I need, you know, maybe 6 episodes, the origins of Spider-Ham or whatever, maybe some crossovers where, you know, Spider-Noir drops in or whatever, you know, just have fun with it. But that's the one I would really
It reminds me of like the Deadpool core where you have all the different Deadpool animals.
If only Mulaney had better taste in women. How about you, Mac? What Spider variant would you like to see have their own series?
I don't know. Like, I almost just want another series, season of this.
Oh, I definitely would. Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
just
I'm sure we're gonna get one.
The more kind of like cohesive, like now them operating as like all 3 of them running the, you know, between him, the receptionist,
Janet.
Yeah, I just like it seems like it turns more from the Spider into the Spider and his amazing friends.
Yeah.
Right. Although Robbie is at his own paper now. So,
right.
And Janet has her name in the door, which I thought was a cool touch.
Yeah. So I'd love to see like 5 years down the road or something. But then again, you know, Nick Cage is going to be 1,000 at that point.
Yeah, but if
he won't have another half of his mouth left to talk out of.
If he keeps tightening it up, yeah, he might have to be in the mask the whole time.
I know, by the way, I'm coloring the kettle. Like, I talk out of one side of my mouth mostly too, but that's from an injury.
That's from your stroke. Oh. I would like to see Spider-Punk, just to have like that whole UK punk scene back then.
Interesting.
The costumes I think would be incredible. I thought oh my God, in color, the suits looked amazing in this show, but just seeing like the style from all the spikes and the chains and all that from the punk rock era.
Oh, you mean the suits like all the 30s mobsters?
As somebody who experienced it kind of firsthand, it's not always cracked up to me.
Yeah.
Trust
I mean,
me.
no era is, but you can make a cool series out of any time period.
Maybe a one shot. I mean, was it Daniel Kaluuya who?
Yeah,
he voiced that. Yeah, I could see that. I just wanted to get freaking.
What was the other movie you said earlier, Marcus? It was Johnny Dangerously and
Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid.
Dead Men Don't Wear Black. I got it. Okay.
Oh, by the way, did you recognize Lonnie from any other Marvel movies? Because he was in the Marvels. He was in the crew of Sword. If you remember, Mr. Khan was discussing retirement plans with him on the spaceship when he revealed like he was like something like 196 years old or whatever he was.
He's a good actor. Lonnie was great.
He's got a voice.
Oh, that voice is so cool. It's like Schelling's voice.
Yeah. I had lunch with Schelling like a week ago.
I remember. Not that I was there, but I remember hearing of it.
It's fun, man. It's like going to have lunch with Darth Vader.
I was thinking more Barry White.
sexy smooth Darth Vader.
He's always had the sexiest voice in games.
100%.
That's very cool. But yeah, this was a great fun chat on Spider-Noir. We all love this series. We all recommend you watching it. So please do. Don't forget to follow these guys on Blue Sky. There are direct links to their accounts on the Facebook and YouTube descriptions. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for this channel. And join us next week where Mac and I will be returning to review Masters of the Universe.
Oh, yeah.
The new He-Man movie, which...
My Friday matinee, baby.
I might be going to see that this Friday myself.
Ooh,
because Nicholas Cage, it was a Gazaltine. You got a British He-Man for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
So I'm
excited.
As somebody who has a guilty level of joy for the Dolph Lundgren version, just because
I think I own the Dolph Lundgren version on DVD
because it's so awful. I actually think I will go and get an early showing in wearing a Spider-Noir mask, and I'm just cool.
I'm going for hot ass Evil Lynn, played by Alison Brie.
Oh, Alison Brie.
If I'm going to anybody, I'm going to Skeletor. I'm like, remember, kids.
Oh, are you excited for Jordan Catalano playing Skeletor?
I am.
I don't know, Jared Leto. I mean, you're not burned by Morbius.
Jared Leto ruins everything.
Yeah,
except My So-Called Life. That's where he peaked.
I mean, worst Joker ever.
Oh, for sure. I don't think there's a question.
Yeah,
I think he quite clearly.
At least he's buried under a bunch of latex, and his voice sounds like he's doing Tom Hardy as Bane.
Hey, kids.
Yeah.
Skeletor. Yeah. We could see that. But guys, thanks for watching.
Jared Leto, the only man who, sorry, Ray, who in Tron Ares was worse acting than any video game AI I've ever seen in my life.
Could be. Mac, why don't you make fireworks with your hands or hearts or whatever?
How did I do fireworks last time?
I think it was this. Or is that late? No, that's laser beams. 2 thumbs up. And then we're out. Yes. Thanks for watching.
Right out of the back of my head. It looks like my head's exploding.
See you next time.